Tame your anger. And anger rests in the bosom of fools. Anger rests in the heart of fools. Let me tell you my story quickly. So I grew up in Nigeria, right? I need a hot coffee. You can grab a coffee with me whilst you're watching this, so it can help you and be energized and to help you focus. Moving on. So I grew up in Nigeria in a very rough environment called Ipaja, Lagos. You've probably heard of Lagos quite a lot of times, and if you're Nigerian watching this as well, you know where I'm talking about. It was the trenches, trust me. It was the trenches. Like, my environment, I would definitely say, had a very big impact on my behavior, especially growing up. With parents, with people around, your neighbors, your friends around, and in school and stuff. And I found out that a lot of people around me were always mad. I would want to argue and say maybe because of the environment we are in, like a lot of people are actually struggling. Do you get? Like a lot of people were, especially with finances, because like I said, it was actually the trench. So my parents were always working. I don't really remember any as much valuable time that I spent with my family, like especially with my parents, because they were always working around the clock. Traffic was not nice at all, because the times they'll be getting back home is late. They're getting home late. I was enrolled in the daycare in the local area just to make sure that before my parents come home, me and my younger brother stay in that place until they come home and then they pick us up. Well, that's literally just a brief history about me. But in my environment, including my parents, everyone was always mad. Everyone was short-tempered. And I began to wonder when I was growing up, especially around 7, 8, like, what's going on here? Why is everyone miserable? Would you want to argue and say it's because of you're from a poor background? Or would you want to just say, again, people's mentality were just skewed just because of that particular environment they were living in? I think the main question you're probably thinking right now is, how did it affect me? Anytime I done something wrong, I was always slapped, whipped, bullied, even by my teachers in school and also again by my parents. As a little child, I could remember always like I would be crying myself to bed every single day that, I wish I didn't have these sort of parents. I was mad at the world, bro. Became rebellious because of this. I became rebellious because one, everyone around me was angry. So obviously I was part of that environment. I became like them too. And secondly, I became rebellious. I didn't want to listen to no one. I didn't want to listen to anyone because I just accepted that, it's my life. I want to do what I want. Growing up faster. Moved to the United Kingdom at the age of 14. I was very, very sad. I was like, that environment I was used to, even though I know it had a lot of negative effects, for some reason I missed it because I was too used to the type of people I was hanging around with, you see. Came here, the first year here, I hated it. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to make friends. I was the weirdo at school. I'll literally be walking. And if anyone looked at me, I would just stare at them like, I'll literally stare. Give them the most scariest death scare. I was a weird guy. I'm still weird, but like a better type of weird. Well, back to the point. Any single criticism, I react. I used to react so much. I used to get mad so much. You know, my fingers were I was always in fight or flight mode. And I realized the root cause of my anger was anxiety, was trauma. It wasn't you're not necessarily just born into the world and then, you know, all this behavioral patterns, you know, just suddenly appears. Your behavioral patterns and your thought patterns is literally based on how you were brought up, who you was brought up with, the environment you grew up in. Those three things are really important. But the deep root of my problem was anxiety and fear. I realized that was the problem of most people around. It's not necessarily that they chose to be angry on purpose. Of course not. Everyone struggled. Everyone hated life. Simply because of how they were brought up. Simply because in that environment, there was no genuine love. Parents didn't really know how to bring up their kids in love. They were very good at providing for their kids, which props to them. That's, again, as one of the important things of doing as parents. But no one around me was happy. My parents were not happy either. We grew up from nothing, from pennies. Sometimes I even sit back and think like, wow, how am I even in the United Kingdom? Because I've come a long way. Now, talking about anxiety and fear. A lot of the times when I wanted to take big steps, you know, someone would tell me I can't do it, I become angry, and then I actually accomplish it. A lot of the time, my anger usually stems from people telling me that, yo, you can't achieve something. But in most cases, I've used my anger in the wrong way. I've lost a lot of good friendship because of anger. I've hurt myself because of anger. I've said things that I shouldn't have said because of anger. You need to tame your anger. It's good to be angry, but the outcome that comes from it, you decide that. You determine that. If people are stepping on your toes and you react with fire, then you've not really done yourself any good favor, because, again, why are you reacting? Why are you fighting against them? So how I came out of this loop of, you know, always reacting negatively, always trying to fight. It's like I was in a flight or fight mode all the time. Majority in a fight mode. I had to channel this anger into something more meaningful. I had to channel it to the identity that I see myself becoming. A man of integrity, a man of dignity, a man of honor, a man with respect, a man who practices stoicism, a man who practices what's in the Bible, what's in all these legendary books that have made great men great. That's my identity. So it would be foolish of me to be reacting to anger, to be trying to fight back all the time on foolish things. And let me tell you something, a lot of the time, you've probably heard of this statement before, but people, sometimes they might not even just be angry just for being angry. They're not angry just for being angry. They're just projecting their insecurities. Like I mentioned, my deep root was definitely anxiety because I was brought up in a very harsh way. Do this or gonna get punished. Literally, it was worse. I don't really know if they do that in the military, but mine was a bit of that for a child. I'll probably say that was that was abused, that was a tantrum. But that's besides the point. We've moved on from that. Thank God for that. But that's the problem. A lot of people project their insecurities towards you in form of anger. That's why you need to be careful and you choose how to react to it. You choose what to use your anger for. You choose how you're going to channel that anger into something that will yield more good things. If you channel your anger towards your goals, for example, in the next 5 years, you can't tell me how that you won't see some sort of success in it. If you channel your anger into, I don't know, improving your physique. My physique is, it's alright. It's not the best at the moment because I've not been the most consistent with my gym endeavor, but it could have been a lot more better, trust me. That's why you need to stay consistent. I hope what I'm saying actually makes a lot of sense because there's really deep roots that you need to look through into yourself. You need to go into deep introspection within yourself because anger is literally just emotion. There's a reason why you're angry, why you're short-tempered all the time, majority of cases, especially when it comes to criticism, especially when it comes to, when someone tells you no, especially when it comes to maybe any situation that can cause that reaction to come out. It's not a problem. It is perfectly normal. It's good to express that. I couldn't really express myself too much when I was younger. So the only thing was either I was scared or I was angry. Those were the only two expressions I could do. I was either rebellious or I was fearful. But the moment you start to express yourself, in this case, the moment you start to be angry, just pause for a second and think, why am I feeling this way right now? Talk to yourself like your little child again. Like when you were a little child. You literally just talk to yourself like that again. Sometimes I just talk to myself like, David, what's going on? What's going on right now? You can feel the emotions. You can feel it. It's buried deep inside your subconscious. Sometimes it's weird. It's weird, trust me. Sometimes I just tap myself like that. Like, it's okay. And I can just feel myself relaxed because I know why I'm angry. is the little David. The little David has gone through a lot. And sometimes that burden can still want to appear. But I just have to let it go by deep breathing, by relaxing. Because I can't let any other human being, see the worst of me. I want them to see the best of me. I know who I am. It will take you a very long time, but that's what you need to do. You need to do some deep introspection and you need to love yourself. You need to respect yourself a lot more, because people will always project their insecurities, especially when you come from an environment where it's full of struggles, it's full of misery, it's full of it's full of angry people, sad people, jealous family members. But you can do it. You can tame your anger. And the best way of doing that is to channel it into what you actually want to become, who you actually see yourself becoming. That's the best way. There's no other way to it. There's actually no other way to it. Trust me. So here's my love and advice for you. Calm your heart down. Everything will be okay. When some idiot is trying to trigger you, no, there's no point reacting, because it's not gonna go in your favor. They'll get a reaction of you and you feel bad about yourself later on. You don't need to prove to everyone that you're this hard person. Let them look foolish and you be the wise one. Don't hold grudges. Don't. It's foolish. Don't react to every single little thing. Don't be hot-tempered. It's foolish. Be hot-tempered towards not fulfilling your goals. That's great. Be hot-tempered of making more progress in your life. That's great. Don't be hot-tempered about some stupid comment that shouldn't even affect you in any sort of way. Because like I said, everyone is just a projection of their thoughts and their ideas and whatever they've learned or whatever they are, to be honest. That's literally life. We're all looking at a mirror. We're all in our own journeys. We're literally in our own mini realities right now. I really hope I've helped you in this video. And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe if you've learned anything from this video. I'll be making a lot more about this as well, and regarding health and fitness. Stay tuned. Love.